And, people are worked up right now that I'm bagging on Russell Westbrook. I got to ask you, listen, you played in the league. You played with some, how should I say, shoot first point guards. I don't want to anger Stevie franchise.
Well, he is. I mean, but he I think he's one of the best point guards. If Steve played now, he'd kill everybody. Like, the way he was so shifty.
He'd kill everybody?
It's a one-on-one game. It's spread out.
He would do well. Do you know how good the point guards are in this league?
Do you know how good he was?
I do remember how good he was.
Who's more athletic than him?
I would say Russell Westbrook's a little more athletic.
Than Steve Francis?
No.
He's just as athletic.
Okay.
Steve Francis is dunking the ball so much. Are you serious? And this is when we had 7-footers.
Yeah.
There ain't no 7-footers blocking shots now. They're out there on the three-point line. Steve Francis wiggling past people with people in the paint and dunking the ball on people.
Okay,
come on, man.
Let's see. Ben Simmons. He's more athletic than Ben Simmons.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because Simmons is 6'10". James
serious?
Harden.
You serious?
Drew Holiday.
Come, stop it. You making you not.
Steve Francis that good, huh?
Are you serious?
I remember. Listen, he went to Maryland, and I was in the Northern Virginia area, and he was doing some things on the Terps, but I never saw him get over the hump.
Steve Francis was a one-on-one guy. What is NBA right now? Space one-on-one.
Space.
And
yeah.
Steve was going to the cup on you. And it was 7-footers. There's no 7-footers. Who's going to stop him?
He's scoring a lot.
He's assisting too.
So Damian Lillard, one-on-one.
Steve was getting 8 assists, 9 assists, and it was no shooters back then. Compared to if he had shooters now, no one be able to stay in front of Steve. People be scared of Steve.
Okay, so the same goes for Westbrook. People cannot stay in front of him.
Yeah, his is more downhill. I'm talking about half-court wiggle before you know a blink of an eye gone.
So it sounds like you think there's a ton of value in the Steve Francis and the Russell Westbrooks of the world.
Yeah.
But does anybody want Russell Westbrook? Right now he's on the trade block.
A lot of teams want Russell.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
How come nobody's traded for him? He's got one of the worst contracts in the league.
It's not that fast.
$40 million.
Right, but it's not that fast.
He can't get out of the first round with Paul George the last 2 years.
Right, but it's not that fast. You can't just, let's just trade him. We're just going to give up these guys. It's more of a financial.
So I'm going to ask you. I personally think he has the third worst contract in the NBA. I think
Chris Paul. You think
John Wall and Chris Paul probably are two of the worst. Right? John Wall's really hurt. He can't shoot.
Okay.
Chris Paul, we would agree. He's declining rapidly. The history of small point guards declining and big contracts, is bad. Cuttino, who's going to want Russell Westbrook's contract when he's on the wrong side of 30 and he's like a 29% three-point shooter? He's got a history of knee injuries.
He can become a better shooter, right? The older you become, you can become a better shooter.
Is it that easy to teach an old dog new tricks?
Well, no, it's not even about old tricks. See, athleticism is different, right? Being tricky with the ball is different because that's just something you've been doing your whole life. Crafty pull-ups, Russell Westbrook, right? He's bigger than most point guards. He's 15 feet from the basket. You can't guard him, right? He's turn-facing off the glass, fades. You don't need athleticism for that. I don't need that, and I do that now.
You're talking about him in such glowing terms, and he couldn't get out of the first round the last 2 years. Couldn't beat the Utah Jazz.
KG couldn't either. Tracy McGrady,
Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players.
Hall of Famer,
I
and sniffed the second round.
Russell Westbrook played with Paul George, who was third in the MVP voting this year.
Well,
they couldn't get out of the first round.
Something happened to his shoulder. He couldn't even lift his shoulder.
Steven Adams, your guy.
I love Steven.
I feel like we're making excuses for Westbrook. If he's so damn good, then somebody needs to go out and get him. I'll tell you right now, I looked at this roster, okay? Orlando Magic. Cuttino Mobley, by the way, do you know they had Shaq, Penny, T-Mac, Dwight Howard? It's a rich history. They've had nobody recently. I would not trade for Russell Westbrook if I was the Orlando Magic. I actually like what they're doing. They haven't won a playoff series since 2010. I would rather roll the dice with Markelle Fultz, see what he is, than trade for Russell Westbrook. Because I'm not giving up Aaron Gordon. I'm not giving up Jonathan Isaac, Vucevic they just signed. I'm not giving up Mo Bamba. I think they're a playoff team. This could be the sixth best team.
No, they were a playoff team last year.
They were, and they could be like the sixth best team.
True.
Listen, the Detroit Pistons, who everybody wants to get Russell Westbrook, they got broomed badly by the Bucks in the first round. At least Orlando took a game off the Raptors.
They're so basement dusty to me. Like
who's that?
Detroit Pistons. It's like
Basement
dusty. It's like
I don't
it's like
know
a
that
weird.
phrase.
It's
That's
like
funny.
a weird, gloomy kind of. You know what I mean? Like
I
it's
look
not
at
like the
their roster,
Pistons back when Chauncey and Rashid and Rip and Ben and. It's not that like that blue collar heart. It's like a weird dusty.
They don't have Ben. They don't have a Ben Wallace.
Yeah, it's not like it's like not
They got
like
Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
They're
they
very
have-
thin at small
yeah.
forward.
Yeah, they got 17 million, 30-something million, 20-something million. They're getting 41 and 41.
And here's what they did. They went out and signed Derrick Rose. They're not going to get Russell Westbrook when you got Derrick Rose. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
They're duplicating efforts. They got an issue at shooting
I feel
guard
bad for Derrick Rose.
because of the injuries.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. He was going to be next.
so good.
Do you remember how good he was that MVP season?
Yeah, kid was good, and that was a lot of speed.
That was the year they beat LeBron and the Heat in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And you're like, oh, geez, are the Heat even going to get to the finals? And then LeBron was like, I'm going to guard Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I got that.
and
Everybody else, calm down.
The Heat won 4 straight.
Yeah,
that
calm
was
down.
prime LeBron. I just don't think Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook make sense together, Cuttino, in the backcourt.
Yeah, I don't.
Now, the one place where I do believe there is a chance is Charlotte. Michael Jordan. Desperate. They lost Kemba Walker, the only reason anybody went to games there last year.
If I'm Russell, like,
You don't want to go there?
nah, come on, man. I'm
It's
on my
not your
12th
choice,
year. How
Doug.
many
It's not
years
your
is
choice,
he-
buddy.
how many
You don't have a
years-
no trade.
That's true, but I mean, gosh.
Do you want me to? I think the Charlotte, there's a case they're the worst team in the NBA.
What? No.
These are their best players. Malik Monk,
No,
who's 21.
as long as New York Knicks are in, they're the worst team. As good as they have young guys, the New York Knicks for I don't know how many years, when you have an owner like that, and all them people know.
Okay, let me at least give you the names of the best players on Charlotte. Their best players probably Nick Batum, who's 30. Their second best might be
I like how you just like say the name to like it's like a,
Nick Batum. I mean,
yeah, like it's like trash.
No,
Nick Batum.
he's a professional
like, you know what I mean?
basketball
You
player.
said it like it's not even like. Oh yeah, well you have this guy and Nick Batum, you have this guy. What you tell me? Nick, but like you're like being facetious about this, like you're condescending
It
with
was
the
a little
whole like.
condescending. I apologize to Nick Batum.
Okay, because that's how I read it just now. Go ahead. Nick Batum.
Scary Terry Rozier,
I like him.
25.
I like
They're
him. He's a
paying him
dog.
a lot of money. You
He's a
better
dog.
like him.
He's a dog.
He is a dog, that's for sure. Malik Monk, 21. I like him, but he's 21. Miles Bridges, who is showing out in the summer league.
They're a little upset with Malik Monk because he didn't play in the summer league too. They're like he should be playing. In the
I
summer
was
league.
unaware of this. What happened?
Yeah, well, it's not like they're upset, but it's just the simple fact that like Bridges is playing and getting and
Oh,
Malik.
wait, is this Malik Monk? Is his second year? So
Yeah.
he could have played.
Yeah, he should have.
Oh.
He should have.
He said no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Oh wow, I was unaware of this. Now Bridges looks good.
Yeah, he's getting some reps up. Summer league gets some reps up, and you got to think about it. This transition right now, Kemba Walker's going. Who's going to be the leader?
Oh,
Who's going to be the guy?
It's Scary Terry.
Bacon had 20.
Bacon can get you buckets.
Right, he had
FSU kid,
22
I like it.
the other day, and he's talking about being one of the leaders. Right after this 22 in the summer league,
And Malik Monk
That's
is
good,
supposed to be a
right?
starter.
Malik Monk, you need to be in there,
Oh,
gigging with Bacon, so you guys can, get some chemistry
I
beforehand.
wonder why he would say no. What does he have better going on?
I don't know.
Malik Monk is saying no to summer league. Okay, so that's the
Jeremy
situation.
Lamb.
No, he's gone.
Where he's gone?
He's on the Pacers.
Okay, so if he's gone, so you got Malik Monk at the 2.
MKG, Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
believe he's only 25?
He's got that Conjuring jump shot. You ever watch Conjuring? You ever watch Scary Movie when the lady come out with the bones and
I have
everything,
not.
and it kind of formed like?
Oh, that
you
is
know.
cold-blooded. I don't think the market is as robust as you think it is. If you're the Chicago Bulls, right? There's some linkage of Westbrook to the Bulls. You're telling me you're trading Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine for Russell Westbrook? I'm not. I like their young nucleus. I'll give you right now. I was in Vegas yesterday, making some gambling wagers, signing up for the Super Contest. Dan Patrick listeners should know I do a gambling podcast for FS1. Coming up winners. I'm a good NFL gambler. I'm not going to say I'm great. It's tough to gamble on NFL. I had a really good year last year, and I put a couple shekels on the Chicago Bulls over win total. I like the roster. They had injuries last year, man. Cuttino, the Bulls have Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, Thaddeus Young, Otto Porter, Levine, Dunn. I like the kid Kobe White. I think they could be a sleeper in the East this year to win like 40 games. I'm telling you, the East is down, man. I would not trade for Russell Westbrook if I were the Chicago Bulls.
Well, they got my coach. Chicago has my coach, Jim Boylan.
That's your guy?
It's my guy of Houston.
No way.
Yeah, he coached me in Houston my first few years.
I think they all
He's
hated
a great
him
coach.
last year.
He's a great coach.
Jabari Parker and him like hate each other.
I don't know. I don't know.
Word on the street is like a lot of the players did not like Boylan. Now he's a bit of a. You talk about
In
dogs.
the beginning, you mean?
Yes,
because he called that practice after the 50
point
loss,
and they were doing 2 practices.
Yeah,
and all this
because I'm pretty sure they were smelling themselves, right? So a lot of the young guys when you get in the league too is be careful what teams you get on because you learn how to lose opposed to learning how to win.
Oh no!
Right, and then you just because your money kind of erases all the problems, and you don't understand. The main problem is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years now, and now you've created a habit. So, I'm pretty sure that's why Jim Boylan's like, listen, all this entitlement because you're making money doesn't mean anything. I need you guys to, come alive.
Wow. So, do you have any examples of guys who have the losing culture? You want to call anybody out here? This is your option before we go to break here.
Nope.